Hey guys, welcome to my writing corner. As I said, as we count down the days to my April release of my novel, I'm going to share some writing inspiration, some, I don't know, I guess, I wouldn't say tips, just a little bit of a peek inside my mind to see how it works and what I think of certain things like, tone and writing style and whatnot. But I also promise I'll show you guys some more of my collection. Now, like everything I do, whether it's collecting, movie memorabilia or weapons, um, playing video games, listening to music, it all connects to writing somehow. And these are some of the things that I'm going to share with you guys over the course of the next few months. Now, tonight, like I said, I'm going to show you the piece from my collection. Now, just as a disclaimer, I guess I'll throw this up there. I don't condone in any way, shape, or form violence or the use of weapons in a way that's violent. Now that said, and that out of the way, let's get to some weapons. Now this right here, I guess, how it ties into writing. When I was a kid, like 11, 12, naturally I wasn't allowed to watch R-rated movies, which is a shame because that was back in the 80s, which was the heyday for action movies and horror and things like that. Now the first experience I ever had with a serial killer, obviously not literally, wasn't through reading. It was through movies. This movie right here, Cobra, Stallone. They just, they really, I know it makes me sound old, and if you haven't seen it, it's one of those things where if you go back and watch it now, it's probably a little cheesy. You're going to be like, nah. But if you grew up in the 80s, then you did watch this, and you loved it. And this movie is amazing. Now, in this movie, the serial killer, the night slasher, was, just a force to be reckoned with. And he wasn't just one killer. He was a killer that had a kind of a cult with him too. And he used blades and all kinds of things like to kill people. And I think probably that's part of the reason that the Knight's Eye uses twin blades. It's probably part of it is just ingrained in the back of my mind from this movie. Now, back when I started, wanting to collect weapons and movie memorabilia that I would see online, naturally I was a kid and had other things, important things to pay like rent and stuff like that, and I couldn't get them. And because of that, there were certain things that I missed out on because, like I said, with the God of War, I'm pointing up there because that's where they're hanging. With the God of War pieces that I had, there were 500. So I mean, in most cases, when they create things like this, when the 500 are gone, they don't make any more. So you either got one of the 500 or you didn't get any. Now, they had the Night Slasher's blade. I'd seen it over the years. It was one of those things that I kept checking up on, and then suddenly I really didn't see it much anymore. Now, a couple of years ago, I was on a sword site, and I saw it. I saw what looked like it. Now, they had it listed under G.I. Joe, and I'm assuming it's because, I'll show you here, there is a Cobra symbol on it. Now, the Cobra symbol is the symbol that's on Stallone's gun in the movie Cobra. Now, obviously, I thought to myself, well, one of two things has happened here. Either these guys made a mistake and that isn't really what they have, or they do have it and they have no idea what they really have. So I called this place, and this young girl answered, and she was very helpful. So she got it out and said, look, I think this piece you have is what I'm looking for, and I'm a collector, and I want to buy it. I was like, but did you do me a favor? I was like, open it and tell me what you see. So she did. She opened it, and it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. Now, what it is, again, it's the Night Slasher's blade. Now, this beautiful piece of work is extremely sharp. Now, this is back when they made things to actually like last. See, a lot of the replicas you get these days, they're not. Well, some of them are steel, but some of them are just they're dull, and they really couldn't hurt you unless you really really tried. Now this is exactly the Night Slasher's blade. It's exactly made to scale. I mean, the weight it's very heavy. Now the spikes on it, oh man, these things are so sharp. Like if you go like that, it's almost cutting me just by touching it. The ridiculous sharp. Like if you punch somebody in the face with this, well, that would be the end of their fix. Again, I don't condone violence, but I'm just trying to illustrate just how sharp. Like, I can't really do it justice by looking, but these things, it's ridiculous sharp. Also, the blade is sharp as well, and it's, like I said, it's an exact replica of the Night Slasher's blade from Cobra. And I was very, very lucky to get it because, like I said, this thing kind of disappeared, and these guys, they thought it was from G.I. Joe. So I got really lucky when I snagged this baby. But yeah, I think that's part of the reason that I got into wanting to write serial killer books, because I was just very, very mesmerized by the Night Slasher, and Stallone as the lone hero who was trying to take him down, and it made for, sure, it's a cheesy '80s movie that's pretty cut and dry when it comes down to it, but just the whole thing, the way it went down, I think that's kind of what got me into it. Now you can also see, this is my writing hub. You don't really see it. My screen is right here. My computer here. Now what you do see is every day, like the thought process, I look over and I'm in the presence of the Great Red Dragon. Now for anyone who doesn't know what the Great Red Dragon is, well, the book is always not very far from where I am too, is Thomas Harris, the Red Dragon. And in it, the serial killer is obsessed with this painting, the Great Red Dragon, and I had to have it, so I got a painting, and it's here, and it's always it's like the first thing I look at, like when I get in the zone, and and I feed from it, and it's one of those things. I mean, I consider Thomas Harris to be the godfather of the thriller genre. I mean, I'm not saying he's the best of the best. I'm not saying he was like the greatest. I'm not saying, but I consider him to be the godfather, as in like he kind of started the journey of the thriller novel, like the great thriller novel, and he's certainly one of the best. And if you haven't read Silence of the Lambs, Red Dragon, and Hannibal, I mean, you really should, if you like those kinds of things. Don't settle for just watching the movies, because movies are great, don't get me wrong, but I mean, this book, The Red Dragon, I mean, this is what got me really floored to write these kind of books. I mean, it was amazing. And then when Brian Fuller did the show, Hannibal, he did such a great job. And completely loved that too. And I've had the Night's Eye, like right now, as we get ready, everything's coming, like my cover's almost done. The book trailer, yes, that's a thing. That's in the works. We're getting blurbs and stuff like that. But I've had 2 people compare my work to, Hannibal. Not necessarily Thomas Harris, but they've made comparisons to Hannibal. And I mean, to me, that's probably one of the best, like, complimentary things any thriller writer could get. I mean, it's such a great thing to hear. Now, I mean, whether it's them telling you what you want to hear, or whether it was an easy thing to say, who knows? But it's still really cool to hear. But yeah, so anyway, between now and release, I will, like I said, I'll let you guys pick my brain a little bit about what makes me, my thought process, and all these kinds of things. But yeah, that's just another piece from the old collection, and just another reason why it all ties back to writing. So yeah, love you guys. Keep subscribing, keep following, and keep tabs. And I look forward to wowing you with the book when that comes out. So until then, be cool. See you later.